Hello, welcome. I'm Pamela Cuccinell. This is Stoke the Fire, and I'm doing it for the week of March 5th, 2018. So with Stoke the Fire, what we do is I give an astrology update for every week, and Susie Mazzoli does a energetic guided meditation to basically give you what you need to move into that week. Well, here where I live in the Northeast, we've just gotten over a nor'easter, otherwise known as a cyclone bomb, apparently, or bomb cyclone, I think they're calling it. And when we did the forecast last week, I was talking about the full moon and energetic combinations, and Susie was looking at her calendar and she said, "Oh, I'm in Hungary for a funeral that week, and I don't know, travel plans, it may be hard." Well, she ended up getting stuck in Budapest and couldn't get here in time for us to do this recording. So we're not going to have the energetic combination with Susie, although I might end up tagging at the end one from the past, because they're always good, and Susie's energetic guided meditations can be used at any time. They aren't time sensitive the way my astrology forecasts are. So she's on her way back right now and will be landing probably soon, or maybe is, but not in time to do the recording. So it's just me, although, as I said, I'm probably going to tag her on at the end, but a past recording, which is going to be great. So Stoke the Fire, you can find us at stokethefire.guru if you just want to get the encapsulated essence of the talk, me talking 20 minutes astrology, Susie giving you the 10-minute activation. Otherwise, you're always welcome to watch us on YouTube, as you're doing now. You can find out about me and the work I do as an astrologer, tarot teacher. I also work with tarot cards. That is insightoasis.com. And Susie, you can find out about at susiemazzoli-healer.com. And her name, Mazzoli, is spelled Mezzoli. It's a good Hungarian name, I'm told. So anyway, we will now go into the session about March 5th, the week of, and what we can expect this week. So March 5th, those of you who get the recording the night before, I give information about the day. Those of you who are seeing this on YouTube will be saying, well, you know, I didn't know what was going on earlier. Well, we posted on YouTube on Monday evening, but our subscribers get the information the night before. So the day of March 5th, 2018, the moon is void of course until 8:23 a.m. And what that means when the moon is void of course, it's an old phrase, an old astrology phrase, but it basically means that the moon is making no geometric aspects to any other major heavenly body until it leaves that sign. And so basically what that means, if you entertain the thought that the moon signifies emotions, the mood of the day, if you will, when the moon is not making any geometric patterns with another heavenly body, we're not really that emotionally connected. Now, individuals may be, because that moon may be triggering a point on your individual horoscope, but in general, we say that the overall mood is kind of a little disconnect. So you might meet somebody in the early morning, in this case, because the moon is void, of course, until 8:23 a.m. Eastern time. All the times I give her Eastern time. Please adjust depending on where you are on the planet. So what's going on is that if you have an early morning conversation, well, you want to do this, you want to do that, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Don't expect anything to really stick. It sticks once the moon enters the sign of Scorpio. Boy, does it stick then, because Scorpio is pretty intense insofar as the emotional arena goes. And then you're much more apt to get absolute answers from people. Yeah, I want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. If you sit down at lunch with somebody and they tell you they love the idea and they want to run with it, they are absolutely serious, and you better fasten your seatbelt because you are going. This particular day with the moon in Scorpio, it's a pretty intense day. As of once it moves into that sign, things really start to shift emotionally. People get a lot more focused. They're a lot more interested in whatever it is they're driving for. We're in the waning moon cycle, so there's a real desire to complete, to finish, to make things, to wrap it up. Real focus. So if you're already on a project, it's a great time to tunnel in and work on it with laser-like vision and go in the direction that you want to go in, because anything that you are working on or even getting off the ground on this particular day, and I'll include Tuesday, the 6th, in that, is it's as though it has wings. So it's as though you're thinking in terms of the wind at your back, the wind beneath your wings, the sense that no matter how bumpy things may get, you're getting support. There's a lot of ability to attract support. Now, one of the things we have to keep in mind where we are in time this week is that Jupiter goes retrograde on the 8th. So to explain that, a lot of people have heard of Mercury retrograde, and that's when retrograde just means that the planet seems to be moving backwards from Earth's perspective. It's like when you're on a train and the car you're looking at seems to be moving backwards because the train is going at a certain velocity and the car is not. So the same thing happens with orbits of planets in the sky. I mean, the Earth is traveling around the sun, as are the other planets. So there are times when it appears to us that a planet is actually moving backwards, retrograde. So when Jupiter goes retrograde, it actually is really a time to take note of, because what's going on is the planet that signifies what we call the Great Benefic, the planet that's linked to the god of good fortune, that's starting to kind of lean back. So what happens is that if you're trying to get something off the ground, or looking for money or looking for customers, there may be delays or things pull back. So it's important to note what doesn't quite get off the ground over the next couple of days, because if it doesn't get off the ground over the next couple of days, the odds are that it's just going to be spinning its wheels for months. Jupiter doesn't go direct again until early July. So the thing that's most important to counsel here is that anything that involves a business or money is best to either begin while Jupiter is direct, or wait until Jupiter goes direct again. And it depends on what the business is, because some businesses actually can thrive with a retrograde Jupiter, but the basic golden rule is that if you want a business to thrive, attract money, attract opportunity, attract the things you need to really have it sail along, then it's best to get it launched before Jupiter goes retrograde. So I'm talking still about Monday the 5th and the 6th, Tuesday, because those 2 days are actually very auspicious days to get things in place that you want. The foundation is such that as you're moving into the retrograde, you can just keep going the distance. So the lovely thing about Tuesday is that we have a lot of energy in that day, a lot of focus in that day. Mercury, the planet that signifies communication, and Venus, the planet that has to do with love, what we value, where we put our money. Those 2 planets move into the sign of Aries. And Aries tends to be very spontaneous. It wants to do what it wants to do. It takes action quickly, and it loves to move into a new idea. So it's a perfect day if you've got everything in place and you know what you want to call in, to connect to people, associations, opportunities, to see what you can get off the ground before Jupiter goes retrograde. Now, yes, there's also the discussion theory absolute that we're in the energy that we call the shadow, because Jupiter will start to retrace its steps over where it is traveling direct now. Nonetheless, I think that if you're going to really work on making something happen, manifest something, bring it about, you want to pay attention to it over these next couple of days. Lots of power behind intention, especially on Monday and Tuesday. So if there's something you are passionate about, don't neglect it on Monday and Tuesday. When we get to Wednesday, the 7th, the moon goes void of course at 3:55 a.m. And then it's a long void. It's void over 12 hours. It goes direct at 5:03 p.m. So Scorpio moon, void of course, on Wednesday is really a very nice day to work on something already in motion. Fabulous day for anything therapeutic, either mentally, spiritually, or physically therapeutic. Not a great day for making connections, reaching out to people with new ventures. People will say, yeah, I like the idea, or let me think about it, and it just doesn't get traction. So it's a much better day to dig deep, work on something you're already doing, make connections that matter, relationships you've already established. And then at 5:03 p.m., the moon goes in the sign of Sagittarius, and we're in a whirlwind of energy. Sagittarius is a sign that's linked to the planet Jupiter. Jupiter's about to go retrograde, and Jupiter is presently in the sign of Scorpio. So that little facial move, good one, Pam. So Jupiter in Scorpio is particularly focused on things that have to do with money manifestation, things that you really care about, anything that has to do with expression of deep mergers. And those mergers can be financial, they can be therapeutic, they can be romantic, sexual. It's about really going deep into a place that explores where your fears are and how you uncover and unleash them. It's deep. So when it goes retrograde, we're going even deeper. And the interesting thing about this is as we go deeper, so many things start to come out or get found out. So we know from the news we're in a time when there's a lot of what's the word I want? What's the word I want? There's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of talk about finding things out, discovering different things. And this is something that's probably going to go even deeper over the next several months before things are revealed. So anything that's going on with you personally that is about that kind of digging, this is a wonderful time to start to set it up for that. How are we going to dig? How are we going to take something apart? How are we going to discover it better? With something in the news, like what's going on with people who are back and forth or talking about common sense gun laws, and then on the other side, heavy lobby for the Second Amendment. Jupiter in Scorpio is actually a tremendous opportunity time, especially with the retrograde, to really explore all that. Okay, what does that really mean? What does the Second Amendment really mean? What does pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness really mean? So I don't think these particular conversations are going to go away the way perhaps they have in the past, because there's going to be a lot more digging that goes on. Okay, how can we make this work? How can we make that work? And that's the advantage of when Jupiter, the planet that has to do with seeking expansion, goes retrograde, but even more so in the sign of Scorpio, because Scorpio is tenacious. It does not, the symbols of Scorpio are the scorpion. That's the, I'm going to sting you, I'm going to get revenge. Or the eagle, when the eagle, the predator bird, gives the long view and really decides where it's going to dive and take its prey. And the phoenix that rises from the ashes and recreates itself. So Scorpio, when a planet is retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, the transformation ability is really, really keen. So I don't see this as a negative when Jupiter is retrograde. It isn't a negative, but depending on your business or investment or house sales or any of those things, you just want to be aware of what's going on as you move into anything that's potentially contractual. So when the moon is in the sign of Sagittarius as of early evening on Wednesday, the 7th, it books along in that sign until 9:27 p.m. Friday night. So we have 48 hours of just kind of zipping along with this intense energy that's like wants to shoot out. Now, what happens when Jupiter, the planet connected to Sagittarius, goes retrograde, when the moon is in Sagittarius, is it's almost like you can see the horse running out the gate and then the pullback happens. So the pullback can happen, and then there can be an absolute burst where the stake gets pulled out of the ground. But that's not always the best solution. So the caveat to be aware of over these couple of days is, yes, by all means, move forward, get inspired. Inspiration is going to be coming at you 24/7, but temper it with, is this timing right? Is this something I should really act on? Do I have my ducks in a row? Do I have the finances I need to take this flight vacation opportunity? And if I don't, then how do I pace myself or put things together to still realize what I'm excited about, but maybe not quite now? So then at 9:27 p.m. on Friday night, the 9th, the moon goes void of course, and well, Eastern time, that's kind of, depending on your body clock, that's sort of winding down time anyway, which can just be fun and just, yeah, just fun, just have fun. So the moon goes into the sign of Capricorn at 4:52 a.m. on the 10th, Saturday. So that sets up 2 days, the weekend, with the moon in Capricorn, and this is kind of a little bumpy. This is like, oh, okay, we've been riding high, and now we're landing in turbulence. So the turbulence piece, rocky terrain you hit, just know that it's all going to be fine. But the important thing is that you develop some adaptability. This isn't a great weekend to start or think you're going to be finding the glue that holds things together, especially on Saturday. Things may start to seem a little more cohesive on Sunday, where people are coming together, conversations are seeming to make more sense, things are feeling a bit more comfortable, and that's really great. And actually, that should happen by late evening on the 10th. The thing about the 10th that you want to be aware of, and even as I'm saying this, I'm thinking about what I'm doing on the 10th. The thing about the 10th is you want to be aware of conversations that could kind of sideswipe you, where you're not really gelling or coming together the way you might like. But that starts to even off by 8:30 p.m. on Saturday night. And by the time we get to Sunday, there's a lot more like ease and feeling like, okay, now we're connecting and now we're acclimated and now we've gotten over our jet lag or whatever, and we're really in a good zone. So nonetheless, whatever you think is coming together on Sunday or even on Saturday, know that something may jettison or not quite be what you think it's going to be. Because one of the things that happens with this kind of energy is that you want to prepare yourself for when things don't really go as you think they're going to go. They may seem to be going the way you think they're going to go, and everything's like great. And then depending on what it is, I mean, if it's something that just happened that day and it's over, then you're good. But if it's something that spins into the next day, or it's a cause and effect thing over time, there's going to be some sort of adjustment or need to be flexible or out of the blue occurrence that just doesn't quite make it all happen in the way you would like. So, so then Monday, when we'll talk again, is a different day, but the thing to keep in mind is this preparation for what you don't expect, because that's very strongly a theme, especially a bit on Saturday, getting more intense on Sunday and Monday morning. So that's the forecast. And now I turn it over to a activation of Susie's.
Dear loved ones, we are the master teachers, and allow yourself just to relax. Allow yourself to feel every single little drop of tension just dissolving in your body. Allow it to become soft. Allow the muscles to relax. Allow everything just for 10 minutes of your busy life. Just for 10 minutes, just allow everything just to be. Just to be. And this is meditation, dear loved ones. Meditation. Meditation where you allow everything to just be what it is, to just be exactly what it is, to allow it to be a contemplation. And that contemplation is not necessarily on anything. It is just allowing the mind to be in peace. And when the thoughts come rushing in, if you find yourself pondering or considering something, simply don't engage. Allow it to come, to appear, and it could be very loud, it could be very noisy, it could be like a truck, it could be like a leaf blower, like a lawnmower, like a chainsaw, like 10,000 chainsaws. But just like the cars pass you, if you're standing on the throughway, just allow these thoughts to arrive and to go past you, to arrive and to go past you, so that you are not engaging. And it is very difficult to allow yourself just to be in a place of peace, just to be in a place of quiet, in a place of absolute stillness, where the body is still, where the mind is still, where everything is just still. And allow the breath also to be just imperceptible and quiet. And there you are. Your body is relaxing. Your mind is relaxing. And in this moment when you're so relaxed, what happens is your brain drops into a different state. You start producing different chemicals in your body. These chemicals, not only do they make you relaxed, but they also increase your immunity. They increase your ability to be peaceful, to be patient, to be wise, and to be compassionate. And these are all completely natural states. It's not like you have to work hard to get anywhere. Everything is already there. Everything, this meditation state is always present for you. It is literally behind all of the noise, behind all of the busyness, behind all of the clutter, always present. It is the deepest state of your being. And you will find that as you begin to just allow yourself to be in this state, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, perhaps 20 minutes every day, you will find that your life becomes different, that your life is altered through meditation, altered through this stillness. From this stillness, as you go literally behind the veil, you will unravel the most incredible pieces of yourself. They will come to the surface. They will come to the surface from the depth. These pieces come to you from your depth. They come to you as creativity. They come to you as authenticity. So as you deepen, as you go deeper into this state of stillness, you will find more and more depth. You will find more and more width, breadth, and breath. and you will find strength, absolute, unbounded strength in the quietness of the mind, in the stillness of the body. You will find the greatest strength you have ever known. And as you deepen into this place, and as we again, let us elevate the frequencies, let us amplify unconditional love. Let us amplify fearlessness into this multidimensional field. And you will find that you are deeper and deeper in a state of liberation, in a state of incredible potential. It is where everything is simply in this state of awareness. Just awareness, without decisions, without any processes, but just simply awareness. And as we increase the field, and as this awareness becomes to flood into the mind and into the body, bringing with it the greatest of peace. And it is a simple peace. And it is a simple sense of immense gratification. That you are satisfied by not saying anything, by not doing anything, by not thinking anything, by not being anything, but just by being here right now, just by being. And that being, just that being, is immense and huge. It is omnipresent. It reaches out all the way across the infinite universe. It reaches deep down into Mother Earth, and it reaches across all of the species. It is everything and it is everywhere. And it is pure awareness that is steeped in unconditional love. And as you begin to just take a few deeper breaths, you bring that awareness into the physical body. You bring that depth into your own breathing, the depth of your breath, the depth of your life, bringing in the depth of that peace. And you're able to bring this peace and this depth into everything, physically making more space in your body, space in between the cells, space in between the spaces between the cells, space in your thoughts, in your ideas, in your concepts, space everywhere in your life. Pure, unconditional love and pure space. And as you take a deeper breath now, opening your eyes and feeling immense gratitude and peace, and allowing this to radiate from you in all directions. We thank you. We are the Master Teachers and we are complete.